This is Algebra 2, Lesson 1-1. We are evaluating composite functions today. We haven't done actual Algebra 2 math in a while, and I realize that. So you guys should be in your new seats. You should have already done your warm-up, and you should have already gone over the warm-up. So a little notes about today. I don't have my tablet at home with me, which means I'm using my mouse, so that my handwriting is pretty bad. Just saying that up front. I'll probably be nagging about my own handwriting throughout the video, but here we go. Some vocab to get us started, and you should have this worksheet in front of you hopefully as well. So to combine, what does that mean? To combine means that you are kind of gluing together functions with a certain symbols. So just we'll say maybe I can type, is that gonna be better? Let's try this out. Putting functions together with, I think we can just say with these symbols. You can have plus, it just shifted everything down, hold on, with plus, minus, this is annoying, with plus, minus, multiply, so we'll just do a multiply symbol like that, and divide a fraction. So with those four symbols, that's what it means to combine. To compose, and that's what we're doing today, we're composing functions, is to put functions inside other functions. Okay, let's just get this the right size. Why does that make it go down? All of a sudden, that's too big. I wonder why. Put inside other functions. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. Cool. So let's look at an example. What is g of f of 1? And I have f of g, or f of x, g of x. How do I do this? So I want to first do the inside, and then I'm going to go outside. So order of operations, you do whatever's inside the parentheses. Well, inside the parentheses is f of 1. What is f of 1? You just did homework yesterday figuring out what f of 1 is. That means I'm plugging 1 into the value of x. So for f of x, 1 gets plugged in for x. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 1 is 2. So this now turns into g of 2. Handwriting bad, I know. G of 2. And now that we've solved f of 1, we're plugging 2 in for g. So I'm going to come over here to g. 2 gets substituted in for x. It's now 2 cubed plus 2. So this is going to be 2 cubed is 8. So I'm going to write 8 plus 2. And the final answer is 10. Box your final answer. So that means g of f of 1 is 10. Alright, so I just want to draw a picture of what happened there to make sure that you kind of follow those steps. And this picture we'll be adding on to with our next lesson. So first what we did was we just took a value, right? So we said we're plugging in 1. 1 was transformed by f. So f represents this arrow. F transforms 1 into the number 2. And then once we had 2, we transformed it again with g, and then g turned 2 into 10. Alright. So the general rule here, the important rule I guess, so star this rule, whenever you're dealing with composite functions, and that's everything that we're doing today, do everything inside out. Inside out, or maybe inside first is a best way of saying that. Inside first. Oops. F-I-R-S-T. I can't type right here because it would shut everything down. So do the inside first, or do it inside out. So first do f of 1, and then do g of whatever that is. Do the inside first. Okay, let's try another one. So we have m and n. These are the two functions. What is m of n of -1? So what I want you to do right now is pause the YouTube video and solve this on your own. Alright, you've unpaused the video, you want to see how this works. I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can. So when I go and put -1 in for x, this x turns into a -1, so I'm left with -1 plus 4, which is 3. So now I'm doing m of 3, handwriting, I know, m of 3. N of 1 evaluated to 3. So m of 3, I plug in 3 for x. 3 times 3 is 9, so I have 9 minus 2, and my final answer is 7. All right. So these first two examples are the first activity in Khan Academy, and then we have another activity, which is example 3 and 4, graphs and tables. So this was also part of our homework last night, just figuring out what is h of 2 in terms of a graph. H of 2 means I'm going to the x-coordinate 2, which is right here, and then I find the height of h. Remember, g is up, h is down, so h of 2 has a height of -1. So this now turns into g of -1. Again, h of 2, what is the height at x equals 2 for the function h? That's the complex way of saying what's happening right here. Now that we have g of -1, I plug in -1. I go to -1 on the x-axis, and I figure out where the height is for g. So g is up. The height of g at x equals -1 is 4. The correct answer here is 4. Again, we did inside first, and then we did the outside. And finally, example 4, a table value. Uh-oh, here comes Riley. Let's see if I can finish in time. Okay, so this is another way of writing a composite function. I don't know if I did not write it up here, but this I read as h composed with f. So can we write that down also? H composed, oh my gosh, mice are so hard to write with. Compose with f. That's how I read this thing right here. H of f, h composed with f. That's how I want to always pronounce it. So h composed with f of 1. This is the same exact thing. Write this down. This is the same thing as h of f of 1. It's just another way of writing it. So now that we know what we're trying to do, we first do f. We start on the right-hand side. So start on the right-hand side, f of 1. Well, what is f of 1? Well, here's the f, that's h. So f of 1, I go to the x-coordinate 1. I'm looking right here, and I see what the height is. The height at 1 is -1. This now turns into the problem, what is h of -1? -1, that's a big negative sign, huh? Because this f of 1 evaluated to -1, so it's now h of this thing is -1. So again, I go to the x-coordinate for -1. -1 is right here. What is the height of h at -1? The answer is 0.5. 0.5. Box it. That's all the notes for today. So please write your summaries on the back of this paper and then check someone else's summary around you, then begin Khan Academy. See you guys later. Bye.